Okay, this is part two of the series. Part one was covering piano and drums. This is covering voice. Part three will cover guitar. So, the voice. You wouldn't think it's that big of a deal, except there's the intro, which is 3 voices, or, you know, the sheet music says it's 3 voices, so we'll go with that. Yeah, it's made up a lot of other things, maybe it made that up too. So anyway, I didn't really want to sing all 3 voices myself because, I don't know, how boring is that, right? So, I mean, it's a lot more fun if you get, you know, other people involved. So I was like, well, my sister loved singing growing up. I'll ask her. The problem is, you know, I don't know any other singers, and if anybody likes to sing, like my sister or my mom, and you know, they're just going to be recording on their cell phones. So I don't know if it's going to sound so bad that even with me recording on my mic, you can see back there, you know, like when I slap them together, is it going to sound any good, or is it just going to be really bad and I'm just going to have to be me singing all 3 parts? I don't know. So I told her, I was like, all right, pick out a song that we both know, just a part of it, a small part of it, sing it in your phone, send it to me as a test recording. My plan was going to be to record that part as well, and then put it with hers and see how it sounded. And if it was good enough, then I would go ahead and ask my mom if she could do the 3rd part. I know what cell phone she has. It's the same as mine, and it's got a lot of background noise, pretty fuzzy. So, you know, I figured if one phone worked, why not just throw a second one in there, right? So, yeah, so that was a plan. So I went ahead and asked her, and she was interested, and I told her, all right, give me a test recording. So, in the meantime, I needed to have a way for them to be able to sing the part, because it's not real easy to pick out, like if you have 3 people singing together and they're all singing different parts, it's not real easy to pick out just one part, you know, that one of the singers is singing, right? So the melody usually kind of stands out, but the other parts are, you know, they're not as easy. So I needed a way to show them what the notes were so they knew what to sing. So, you know, I had the sheet music, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that if it's been at least 4 months. I mean, where are we at here? I don't even know what date we're on. This is in January, I guess, because I got done with the piano stuff February 1st. So we're talking February. I'm working on the voices. That was months ago, dude. I don't. But if I remember right, this is the sheet music that I bought. So if you look at these and you were to play these, like I said, if I remember right, this is an octave higher than the actual singing parts of the song. And I think they just did that, even with the, you know, even with the verses, and the whole song is an octave higher in the voice. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So just so you know, that's what's going on there. So anyway, I got a music notation software program called MuseScore. It was free, and I put the notes from the sheet music in there, and I downed it an octave because it's really easy to do in those programs. And I put all 3 parts, exported them all. And I tried the sheet music says that the intro is at 74 beats per minute, and then when you go up to, you know, when the intro is done and the rest of the song starts, it says it goes up to 98 beats per minute. Well, I tried to set the program to be 74 beats per minute. The closest it would let me do it is 74.4. I don't know, whatever, right? Anyway, so I set it 74.4, and I exported the notes and then yeah, I put them in Audacity, the free audio editor that I was using for this, and I lined up all the parts and I put them, tried to line it up with the real song, the intro of the real song, and it's not following 74 beats per minute. Like that must have just been like a, yeah, this is close enough kind of guess, you know, like everything else in the sheet music, it's made up, right? So if you watched my first video, you'll know what I mean by that, the part one. Anyway, so it's not 74. I'm not even sure the intro even follows a steady pace, you know. So anyway, whatever. So I tried to cut all three parts at the same time, you know, like cut it up to match the song when they were singing those notes. And you know, I got it as good as I could, but man, I just could not get everything perfectly lined up. It really wasn't that great. I mean, I got them, but they weren't that good. And the plan was to just have like my sister listen to those notes and know the lyrics and how the real song goes, and then be able to just sing to those notes. And I don't know, I got thinking about it. I'm just like, yeah, that just sounds complicated. These notes aren't perfectly like on where the real song goes. Like it just, I feel like I'm setting up a recipe for disaster, right? So I decided to go ahead and just learn all three parts myself, right? Because I don't even know if my sister recording on a cell phone is even going to work. It might just sound too bad. So I was like, all right, I'm just learning all three parts. So I listened to those notes, learned the parts, and then learned singing it with the real song, that part, which, you know, if you've ever done multiple parts in chorus, it's not always easy to do, sing your part with other parts. But that's what I did, and I sang it, and I recorded me singing all three parts. And that way, if my sister's phone recording, I said it wasn't good enough to work out, then I would have these as a backup, because obviously I would just have to sing myself anyway. All right. Okay. So yeah, that was February 5th. Okay, done with that. So on February 24th, my sister, she's busy, so she finally got a test recording to me. I was bugging her about it and like poke, you know. So anyway, she finally got the test recording to me, and I listened to it, and I was just like, wow, this sounds really good. Like the quality from a cell phone, there was like no background noise. Like I said before, my cell phone is just filled with background noise. If you've listened to my early piano recordings on this channel, lots of background noise because they all came from my cell phone. This is my first song I'm doing with, you know, not using my cell phone to record. And it sounded great. Like I didn't even, like for fun, I recorded myself singing that song, you know, the same part of the song that she did, but I didn't need to like match it up. I knew it would be fine. It was fine. I told her it was fine, and so she said she'd do the part. I sent her all the stuff, the parts that I recorded and the lyrics and the real song. I asked my mom if she was interested. I had to do a little convincing because she wasn't very self-confident in her voice. I said she'd be fine. I gave her the low part because low part's really easy. And I don't even know if she's ever had any like real singing practice. Like I don't know if she's ever been in chorus like in school or anything. You know, if she does, oh gosh, how long ago was that? You know, so yeah, I gave her the easy part. I told my sister, you know, because she was a soprano in school when she did chorus, and I was always an alto, and you know, I told her that it would be ideal if I could do the middle part because it was the melody and I'm the singer of the song. And then if she did the high part, she's like, oh, no, I can't sing high anymore. I'm an alto now. And I'm like, what? So anyway, so after listening to her test recording, I'm like, okay, you listen to my recording of the same part and her recording of the same part, and I'm just like, I can hear the soprano in your voice. It's there. She thought I was crazy when I told her that, but I was like, it's there. You don't have to do the high part, but I want you to just try it. And if you can't do it, it's fine. Do the middle. I'll do the high. It's already recorded, right? Oh, by the way, the high part was freaking hard. Like the low part I learned in a day. Learned, recorded in a day. Middle part I learned and recorded in a day. It's the melody, so it was easy. The high part, it wasn't hard in the notes. It was like pretty easy. It was almost the same exact thing as the melody. But it was high. It was so hard to like hold out the notes long enough. So that took me 2 days to learn and get recorded. But anyway, so let's see. So when I sent off that stuff to my mom and sister, then I got started on I'm like boring myself apparently, probably boring you too. I got started on learning the voice for the rest of the song. Let's see. The only part of the song that I had trouble with on the singing, which I should have thought of this earlier, but I didn't really think, I'm not very good at thinking about this. This is something I didn't learn until I took singing lessons years back. And my singing lesson teacher, she taught me that yes, you might be able to hit lower notes, but that doesn't mean you necessarily want to sing those like in a real song that you're recording, because while you can hit them, they may not sound good. Once they get too low, you stop being able to sound as good. You can't put as much like oomph into those notes because they're too low. It becomes really restricting. And like once you start hitting that part, you can either modify those lower notes to be higher, if it's just like 1 or 2, right? Or you just raise the whole song. Well, when I hit these notes, this I'm going to show you here, but when I hit this, I wondered if if she was here, I bet she would have told you that I should have raised the song by like a couple half steps or something. But whatever, I didn't think about it. Too late now, piano's done, drums are done, the guitar's being worked on, my mom and sister already learning the intro. I'm like, whatever, I'll just move up these notes and we'll be good. So here they are. So it's on the Sean part. Alright, so Sean, don't get careless, I'm sure it'll be fun. I love you, oh brother of mine. So you see the oh brother of mine. It's got 3. Okay, so it's G sharp, F sharp, and then E sharp. So oh brother of mine. So I can obviously hit those notes, right? Oh, but it starts when you're getting that low, for my range anyway. It's starting to get a little restricting, like I said. And when I'm singing it with all the other instruments, I start to get hard to hear at this note. Oh, like you can hear me just fine because it's just me. But when you start adding like guitar and piano and drums, you can't really hear me very well. Not that this part needs oomph, it's just, oh, brother of mine. But I felt, and I feel like my singing lesson teacher would agree, like I said, that I should probably raise that low note from E sharp to F sharp. So instead of doing oh brother of mine, I would just raise this to here. So it'd be oh brother I did that in the song. So you could hear it if you listen. So you can see it. It's I mark out the E sharp and then I moved up. There's a note here. It's in pencil, so it's hard to see, but I moved it up to F. So I just keep that second and third note the same, and just carry it. So that was really the only trouble I ran into with the singing, I think. Let's see if I say anything else here. Yeah, no, it's the only trouble I really ran into. Song wasn't really hard. So it was it was well in my range, you know, except the high part in the intro. That was really the hardest part of the whole song. So where are we at? So February 24th is when my sister got the test recording to me. So March 13th, almost a month later, my mom sent me her low part. So she got that recorded for me, sent it to me. I lined it up with the recordings I had of the middle and high part, and it sounded good. It was perfectly fine. So yeah, it was good. And then my sister, I poked her to see where she was at, because, you know, it'd almost been a month, and she had strep throat, and I don't know, something was going on where she just had strep throat forever. I think I jinxed her. I told her about a time when I had strep throat for a month straight because of something I did wrong. And oh boy, yeah, she had strep throat for a long time. So, yeah, good job for jinxing your sister when you need her. So anyway, let's see, where are we at now? It looks like this is April 1st, so at least 2 weeks later. She said she'd try to get her part done that weekend. 2 weeks later, and did I mention she was busy? April 12th, she finally got her part to me, and you bet I was right on. I knew she had soprano left in her. She said singing the middle part felt weird, and it was easier for her. I believe she used the word easier. Yeah, she said that it was easier for her to do the high part than the middle part. I was like, yeah, I knew better. I knew. So yeah, so she sang the high, my mom sang the low, I got the middle, I put them all together and played with some volumes a little bit to get them lined up, and man, God, it was so good. So good. It was like, this is awesome. I sent it off to my mom, my sister, and another friend of mine. And, you know, my sister was like, it sounds just like the song. And then the other friend I sent it to, he thought it was awesome. And it was great. It was so good. So great. So, yeah, that was a really good moment. Yeah, some point, I guess I didn't document it, but at some point I got the rest of the song sang. Like I said, besides those 2 low notes, it was pretty uneventful. So yeah, there we go. I think that's, we're done for part 2.